Behind your fears, behind your tears, I see a shining star. And I just the way you are. There's more. The way it is, 'cause I clearly see that all things I judge are done by people just like me. So tell her I'll be somewhere that only love can bring. I am grateful, my life everything. Love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. A change outside, it all becomes deep inside. All right, I see everyone's energized this morning. Welcome to the temple. Welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry. You just come on in. That's right, say. Welcome to the presence. Welcome to the family. You don't have to hesitate. You just come on in. Woo. Come on in and sit down. Yeah, I saw you peeking through the window, and bet you're wondering just what's going on. So quit your sneaking around, this is where you belong. So open up the doors and welcome to the temple, welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, just come on in. Welcome to the presence. Welcome to the family. You don't have to hesitate. You just come on in. Come on in and sit down. Yeah. Now take your notice all the love around you. And don't you hear all the voices praising song? I hope you catch yourself dancing and singing along. And let your body move now. Welcome to the temple. Welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry. You just come on in. We said, welcome to the presence. Welcome to the family. You don't have to hesitate. You just come on in. Come on in and get down. Everybody say, to the beat now. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. We said, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Everybody say, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Everybody say, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Everybody say, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in and sit down. Sit yourself down. Yeah. All right, Coco. You did it. You did it great. Yes. All concerns go flying by when all of a sudden we're on and it's perfect time and perfect place. And I am, of course, Reverend Trish Hall, and it is my privilege to be community spiritual leader of the most awesome congregation here and out into the world via Facebook and Zoom and all these other ways in which we show up in the world nowadays. And so we are a growing, thriving community that provides tools for living life better. They happen to be spiritual tools, but they're tools that work whether you're, regardless of philosophy that you may come from. So we believe absolutely that each individual is an individuation of spirit, and when we remember what we are, it's a whole awesome world in order to live as we are. And so welcome this morning. We are so glad that you are here, and at this time, I am going to introduce our practitioner of the day. It's Libby Hecker, and she's going to come forward and take over for everything else. And I think I forgot something. The way you're looking at me.
It's in the air.
Yes. Okay. Please join me as we Okay. We do have an affirmation, but the other one isn't on here. That's why I was being confused. Okay, in your bulletin insert, that is, there is a wonder-filled world affirmation. That's the one I skipped over. Sorry about that. And so together, let's say, there is something wonderful happening in my life right now. I know it. I feel it. I accept it. And I accept it. And so, yes. And so we have another silly little one about Grow Metro. And I keep stumbling over that. But anyway, with Grow Metro, come on up, Libby, and please, Libby is our practitioner for the day, and she is also the host for the remainder of the service.
Thanks, Ross.
Chrisette. I'm Libby. I'm the practitioner of the day. Are you familiar with what a practitioner is? Oh, good. Okay. It just means we've spent a long time studying this stuff, enough to pass a few tests, and sometimes get the answers right. I love being a practitioner, and this is the best part of it, is getting up on Sunday and talking to you nice people. I just love it. Makes me all tingly. So, let's see. First, let's do some more affirmations because they get your blood pumping. So, on the back side of your insert for your bulletin, there is a series of affirmations entitled Power for Good. So, let's do those together. There is a power for good in the universe that is greater than I am, and I am using it now. I am using it to do my part to create a world that works for all. Together, we inspire individuals to awaken to their own divinity. We are here to make a huge difference. Did we get that right, Francois? Okay. Francois here was the originator of the huge difference because he felt we weren't giving it enough emphasis. So
Exactly.
you can see how he's changed one man, he's changed the entire congregation. And I love it. Okay, so let's get ready for the message. And to do that, we start by centering. So please, just get comfortable in your seat, whatever that means. Take a deep breath and follow it inward. Follow it down into your lungs, through the lungs and into your heart space, into that place where all is well. Breathe in and say, yes. And breathe out and say, now. And do that at your own pace a couple of times. Yes. Now. Yes. Now. And now. And now. So let's have a little music if we could.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I love to show you all joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind to remind me how much I'm truly loved.
And now, staying in that space of magnificence, of wonder, please join me in the awesome experience of affirmative prayer. This is what I know. I know that there is only one power, one presence, one source. In the universe, the cosmos, and beyond, just one. That one is everywhere present. That means that the one is present within me, for it has brought me forth so that it may experience this life more fully. And as I know this is true for me, I know it is also true for all here present. We are all manifestation of that one magnificent presence, one at the source. And I affirm for today the most amazing service yet, the perfect service, the perfect message, the perfect music, the perfect congregation, and the perfect outcome as each takes from this experience that which they need for the coming week. What a wonderful way to begin a Sunday, or any day. But let's just focus on this one right now. I am entirely grateful, so grateful. Grateful for the knowledge that prayer works. Grateful for the opportunity to pray with the congregation. And grateful to know that we are all loved, without exception. And in my gratitude, I simply release my word into the law, knowing that as it is spoken, so it is done. And so it is. Okay. So today's reading is a little different. But you're used to me coming in here with different readings, right? This one is abridged from an article in Parade magazine via the internet, and it was entitled 100 Quotes About Self-Care, because being good to yourself has never been more important. It's by Maureen Mackey, and it was published May 6th of this year. Now, I know you're thinking, 100? Well, I said it was abridged. I've cut down the list, and I'm only going to give you the first 15. They're pretty short. So, this is your challenge. Listen carefully. I want you to select one of these 15 items and go for it. So, here we go. 1, almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. And Lamont. Number 2, until you value yourself, you won't value your time. Until you value your time, you will not do anything with it. M. Scott Peck. Number 3, remember always that you not only have a right to be an individual, you have an obligation to be one. Eleanor Roosevelt. Number 4, your work is to discover your world, and then with all your heart, give yourself to it. Buddha. Number 5, every one of us needs to show how much we care for each other and, in the process, care for ourselves. Princess Diana. Number 6, the thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning the work of becoming yourself. Anna Quindlen. Number 7, women need solitude in order to find again the true essence of themselves. Anne Mara Lindbergh. Number 8, I love this one. If you don't love yourself, nobody will. Not only that, you won't be good at loving anyone else. Loving starts with the self. Wayne Dyer. Number 9. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret to getting started is breaking your overwhelming tasks into small, manageable tasks, and then starting on the first one. Mark Twain. Number 10. Within you, there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat anytime and be yourself. Herman Hesse. Number 11. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Sir Edmund Hillary. It's about falling in love with yourself and sharing that with someone who appreciates you, rather than looking for love to compensate for a self-love deficit. Eartha Kitt. Number 13, grab a coffee, journal your intentions, get to work. Create miracles. Elise Santilli. Number 14, to accept ourselves as we are means to value our imperfections as much as our perfections. Sandra Bierbrink. And finally, number 15. I love this one. Loving yourself isn't vanity, it's sanity. Katrina Meyer. And so it is.
So we have a problem.
Yeah, that should be right.
That the song had two keys.
So wait, we're doing it.
I thought we decided which one we're going to use. Apparently,
Wait,
Yeah, you're right.
we're doing that, yeah. Work in progress, we are celebrating our imperfections.
This is what I know, that we are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces. All of my relations in this one heart. And all I need is already looking through these eyes, nearer than my breathing, closer than my hands and feet, we are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be. Now I let him go with such appreciation, with sheer exhilaration. Now I set it free, and so it is, and so be it. When I sing it, I can see it, and welcoming us in. And now we begin. Amen. 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 Amen.
One moment, please. Seems that I read the print version. That's the iPad. Change screens. So anyway, hi. June is we are devoting June to self-care. Actually, that's a recommended topic with Centers for Spiritual Living, and so we're going along with it. And one of those, the lovely assortment of quotes that Libby came up with, I got a bigger list. I think I got the 27 model, but as she pointed out, there are 100 of them. But anyway, one of the ones that I picked up on was Audre Lorde. Self-care is not self-indulgence, it's self-preservation. And I really liked that. And then I started thinking about some people I know have those two really confused. And some people I know actually do engage in self-indulgence and then call it self-care. And so they do get tangled. And so to remove confusion, self-care is not selfishness. And that's the one that a lot of people have totally confused. That because selfishness is more in the realm of not caring about somebody else, but instead being in that space of where self-care is caring for self and in order to be available. And one of my early mentors, when I was trying to be everything to everybody in every direction, including teaching, on a teaching circuit. We were living in Southwest Missouri, and I had literally a more than 100-mile teaching circuit. And I would go group to group to group and teach, facilitate study groups and the like, and teach classes. And she looked at me one day, she took me by the hands and she looked straight in my eyes and she said, "You're exhausted, girl." And she was right. She was absolutely right. And she imprinted on me the phrase that's actually the title for today, and that is, we can only serve from the overflow. That unless we are doing the self-care, unless we are doing the pacing, in order to have that reserve, in order to serve, then what we're serving from is such a depreciated state that the quality of what we are giving is actually impaired.
And what we want is to be able to serve everyone that we are serving, but we need to be able to do it in a quality way. And so this idea of serving from the overflow has to start with fulfilling us up, using our spiritual practices. And so self-care is that space in which we are caring for the self, that is the human self and the spiritual self. We are taking the time to do our spiritual practices. And we are nurturing and taking care of this magnificent vessel that we're entrusted with in order to be in form in this world. So at the point that my dear mentor instilled that one in me, I was still, and I honestly admit that it went on and on, may even still have some tendrils. Anyway, I had a self-value that was dependent on the product that I was putting out. My value was dependent on whether or not I was doing enough, doing it right, being it, whether it was perfect, whether I was out there, whether I was able to fit all of those different things in, and all of this whole thing. I was so externally referenced that I had lost sight of the me, the possibility, to the point that I had pretty much labeled self-care as a waste of time. It's self-indulgence. It's things that people do in order to go, to just pamper themselves, and that was so not okay with me, the idea of self-pampering. And so I have some questions for you. Like, for instance, how much do you prioritize your own self-care? Where on your list of priorities is doing the things that nurture you, your spiritual practice, your exercise routine, your sleep pattern, these different factors that are involved? And so how high is the priority of your self-care? And so do you have a consistent self-care regimen? Every day, do you take time in the stillness? Every day, do you go for a walk, or better yet, more than just a walk, depending on your physical abilities? Do you get out in the fresh air? Do you maybe look at the fact that last night was was a very special moon? And when I read about it, I thought, oh, it's going to be orange. No, it's the orange moon because somebody named it the orange moon. So I'm looking, and I saw it was just plain old ordinary kind of green color. But somebody had named it an orange moon. So we, just, do you bother to go out and look at the moon? Do you bother to just sit and contemplate your navel if that's what appeals to you? Anyway, so it's what is the priority of this? And it all starts with something that's, sometimes we learn to be kind and respectful of other people, but there again, there's one of my other questions. Are you truly kind and respectful of yourself? What does it mean to be respectful of yourself? Sometimes we think about, oh, well, I have reasonable self-respect. No, I'm shifting that a little. Are you respectful of yourself? Do you consciously keep in top of mind how you are treating you? Are you being kind? And there again, I can say that sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I set expectations that are basically impossible, or will be just such a drain Okay, and if there's such a drain, then drop back to, hey, we can only serve from the overflow. And serving is not about how I serve in the world, although it includes that. It includes how do I serve myself, how do I serve those that I love that are in my close community. Maybe my partner, my life partner. Maybe my siblings, if I have siblings, or maybe my parents or my children. It's all about serving is being present with one another. We serve all the time. And if we are drained, if we are hollowed out, what are we bringing? We're bringing lack instead of bringing the opportunity for people to learn, to be loved, to be nourished, to be cared for. So, as Wayne Dyer said in one of Libby's quotes, I'm using several of Libby's quotes, but if you don't love yourself, nobody will. And that's a huge statement. Think about it. If you come into any relationship either expecting somebody to fill your void, which never works, or if you come in expecting to attach your tentacles to them and you're going to draw your energy from them, that doesn't work. If you are self-deprecating, if you're self-deprecating, then what sort of consciousness are you bringing to a supposed relationship with someone else? If you're constantly beating up on yourself, that gives them two things: the model that that's an okay way to be in the world, and it also trains them how to treat you. That's the ugly one in it, okay? Because if you are self-deprecating, then you're saying, hey, it's okay, I do it to myself, you can do it too. So it has to start, as Wayne Dyer says, it has to start with self-love. So that reverts back to this being kind and respectful of yourself. So then, as M. Scott Peck said, until you value yourself, you won't value your time. Okay. So if you're not valuing your time, then how are you spending it? Are you allowing it to be wasted time instead of nurturing time? What if you take the word nurturing and fill it in a lot of spaces? Nurturing self, being present, being filled to that level where you can then nurture others. So that's the essence of how we relate to one another. Think, when people say, well, I'm in a 50-50 relationship with my spouse. That, to me, is not a real functional relationship with a spouse. If you're not willing to give like 80%, and your partner is also willing to give 80%, then the state of giving is the ground on which you both walk. It's not because, hey, I've got half of this, half of it's my responsibility. No. Try 100% your responsibility, to be 100% present, to each be 100% present. And wow, what a difference that can make. So it is said that there are 4 levels of self-care, and those are self-compassion, self-confidence, self-surrender, and self-realization. And so at that level of self-compassion, to accept ourselves, this is the one from Sandra Berry, okay, to accept ourselves as we are means to value our imperfections as much as our perfections. Actually, I like to value my imperfections even more than my perfections because I am a somewhat rehabilitated perfectionist. And so,
Really?
I said somewhat. Okay, so since I am imperfections has allowed me to see the growth, the shift. It's allowed me to let me be present. Let me be me with those I trust, with those I don't trust because I don't know them that well yet. But when I can then be all of me without the reservation, without the facade that says, you don't need to know what's going on in here because I have it all in control, or I have it all organized, or I have it all whatever, then the ease that happens in loving my imperfections and knowing that just like the oak tree that has to sway and shift and everything else in order to grow, I have to sway and shift and acknowledge the branch that didn't quite grow like the other ones. I have to acknowledge all of that in order to be whole. And so that self-compassion is so important. That's that love of self. And it's tough to be really compassionate of self if you're product oriented. If your whole value of you is attached to what you have produced, what you have made available, what you can achieve. So then the next layer is self-confidence. And I love the Eleanor Roosevelt quote about remember always that you not only have the right to be an individual, you have an obligation to be an individual. And I take that even further and say to remember that you're an individuated expression of the divine. And so in you is this glorious potentiality. And so it's an insult to the universe for you to withhold it. It's yours to be and to give and to share. And so then the next level is actually self-surrender. And self-surrender, as Quindon said, the thing that is really hard, really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning the work of becoming yourself. Excuse me. I'm going to need my water. Can you hand it to me? Thank you. So, self-surrender is about truly embracing the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's about, excuse me, it's about being okay, being unokay. It's about acknowledging, and from surrender, we are able to reach beyond. We are able to simply be in this place of surrender and acceptance that says, yes, I am in this interdependent relationship with the whole world. And in this interdependency, I need to be in a space that says, yes, I appreciate your input. Yes, I honor you and thank you for helping me. Thank you for accepting me. And so that interrelationship, and then comes the dawning of self-realization. And self-realization, as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, to be yourself in a world constantly trying to make you something else. I'm going to say that one again because I kind of tripped over it with a cough, but also because it is so important. To be yourself in a world constantly trying to make you something else is great. And so we're not here to be a replica or a reincarnation or a restatement of anyone else. We are unique individuations of spirit, and as unique individuations of spirit, we are here, as Roosevelt said, we are obligated to share that. And so as we share it, then it's time to take just a moment, and I'm inviting you to even right now, just go inside for a moment. Just take a moment and open to what is your soul calling you to serve. How is your soul calling you to serve? We've looked at the steps of how to build, how to construct this self-realization. So you're equipped, you're ready. Take a moment in the stillness. Make note of that. Spirit in you, as you, is you, and it is calling you. It is calling you to be the unique individuation of spirit that is absolutely only unique to you. No one else. No one else can be this. And sometimes we think about when we're thinking about how we're supposed to discern that, or how, how we're being called to it. It's amazing the number of people that think that it's just as easy as spirits call and then we'll do it. The truth is we don't. Then their complacency can sneak in there. And mostly what motivates people to make a change, to stand up, to be themselves, to fully express, is a certain level of discomfort. People move from unhappiness into something new. It motivates them to get out of comfort. Again, referring to the oak tree. Until we stretch, until we pull, until we flex, it's really easy to just sit on the cushion. And then we get more and more miserable. And when we get more and more miserable, then finally, when we get miserable enough, we'll move. And so I invite you, just a moment, duck back to the note you made about what is Spirit's call. What is my soul's call? Hermann Hesse said, "Within you there is a stillness, a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time and be yourself." And so take those moments, retreat to that sanctuary that is within, and celebrate being in liminal space. Liminal space is a term for that space between. That space in which you're not quite there and you're not quite not there. It's the ability to sit, there was a book many years ago about Sit in the Fire. Okay, it's that ability to stay in the transitional moment. Because in the transitional moment, there is such richness. It's the richness that you're becoming aware of in the pulling away from what was. And that has such richness in the sense of departure, in the sense of withdrawal, of moving beyond, of coming away from. And there's another richness, another calling, another dynamic that is the calling side. And so when you are willing to stay in that liminal space, stay in that space between, and sometimes this is about shifting identity. Sometimes this is about being something new, a new individuation of you, a new expression. Maybe it's the shedding of the old way of being in order to birth and be beyond and be truly into what you are, who you are, how you are showing up in the world. And so stay in that space. There's a story, and this is a true story, and I was amazed when I learned it, about aerialists, okay? That is trapeze artists. And when a trapeze artist climbs up to that platform, and there's this hook there, the bar, and the trapeze artist gets all set and watches for the timing and the cue of the catcher. And the trapeze artist takes the leap and swings out, lets go, and is caught, and it catches and is caught by the catcher. The part that most people don't know is the length of the cable that the aerialist uses is longer than would bring him back to that platform. So if he chose not to let go and swung back, he'd go smack into the base. And so we have to be willing to grab the bar, to swing out, to trust, to know that we cannot not be caught. So we are in flight. We are in that liminal space between letting go and knowing we are caught. Knowing we are there to serve. Knowing we are there to care for this precious vessel that's entrusted to us. Knowing that our minds are ever being enriched, and we get to choose how that mind is being enriched. We get to draw from it all. And then we get to serve. And so then, my question, how then shall we serve? Let's see.
Its doors are open like they should. I am creating a better life. I wake up every day and everyone is nice. Cause I believe it, I see it, and never thought I'd bring it. My world suddenly will show. Like the rest of it. Here we go. I am creating goodness. My highest good. As I take on new roads, it's understood. I am creating my happiness. I try to catch it all as it goes by fast. As I believe it, I see it, and never go away. My world's suddenly will shine. I am creating.
do better than that. Come on. Thank you. Ooh. This is my favorite part of the service because now we get to actually do something. We get to give back. And I don't think there's anything that feels better than giving back when you've been given such a gift as we have received this morning. Center for Spiritual Living Metro is radiantly prosperous in every aspect and expression of spiritual community as love, growth, abundance, and overflowing good. We are a joyous, Francois, and loving community that is raising the consciousness of the greater Washington, D.C. metro area. Through the generous sharing of our members' time, talent, and treasures, our vision with all of its activities and community programs is fully funded. So let's keep it that way. Please join me in the prosperity blessing that is in your insert. I know that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously share my supply with this spiritual center. And so it is.
Money is coming to me easily, money is gonna be safe. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is gonna be. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is gonna be. Every time, every time I open my heart, I receive all that I need. God is my source. I relax and let it flow. And I know that money is coming to me easily, effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily, effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Yes, money is coming to me easily, effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily, effortlessly. Money is coming to me.
Yeah. And so it is. Ooh. Thank you guys. That was
All
great.
right, well, thanks. All right, safe.
Okay, let's see. Blessing the collection. Oh, that's me. Yay. Okay. I am so grateful for all of the contributions of time, talent, and treasure that come from each of the members of our congregation and our extended family. What a great feeling it is to know that we are supported in all of these areas as we move through the Washington, D.C. metro area, spreading our word and our love and our help to anyone in need. Woo! It makes you happy. And so it is.
And so it is.
No, it's not yours.
I don't think so. Okay. We just stand here.
The next thing up is Trish and announcements.
Awesome. Okay.
Now, also, what isn't in our script is ways to give. And we use Givelify and PayPal, both of which are available on the website or on just going out onto the web. Or if you happen to have the app, be sure to look for Center for Spiritual Living Metro. During the pandemic, we gave up direct collection, but we'll take your money, trust me. However, we're not gonna say, oh no. But anyway, today we're gonna do a little different order of things, and this is a cue to Jason, who's doing our tech. Because we have chosen a song for which we do not have the rights, we are going to do a brief announcements, and then we are going to do our closing affirmation, and then we are going to do the song for which we don't have the rights, so it can be chopped before it's relayed to Facebook. So, with that note, on your insert, if you will notice that Singing Bowl's meditation for tonight is canceled, and it's canceled because I'm going to an interfaith dinner, a wonderful interfaith dinner, and also to let everybody know that except maybe on a special occasion, Singing Bowl meditation will be suspended until probably October, because first Sundays collide with holiday first Sundays, and so anyway. But the big thing on the note is full day retreat next Saturday. And this is a congregational retreat. Everyone is invited. If they are brand new to us, please come. If they are long-standing members, please come. Because in January, we had a terrific congregational retreat and got lots of ideas and possibilities for where do we go next, because we had to acknowledge that this congregation, as it was pre-pandemic, did not survive as the pre-pandemic congregation, and that we are brand new. We're starting absolutely fresh, except that we are blessed with lots of people who are affiliated with us, either locally or at some great distance. And so when we come together in this retreat on Saturday, it's to learn from everybody. What is the new perspective? What is the ongoing perspective? What are the possibilities for us? And so we're feeding you and entertaining you and teaching some fun, silly things that a couple of us know about and giggle about. And it will be at Diane's home in Severn. And so we are looking to make arrangements for carpooling as necessary. And I think that's about it. The coming Sundays are all announced. Now, if you will turn your program over, and our closing blessing is the last one there. Now, I want to also draw your attention to the full insert of the song, I Love Myself the Way I Am, and that's for you to take. That's for you in this self-care thing. Once a day, just read it. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful. I'm capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. And then maybe drop down and do the I love the world, but the one that I ask you to do daily for sure is I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come when deep inside I know I am beautiful, I am capable of being the best me I can, and I love myself just the way I am. And so please take it and use it, and now join me in our closing blessing together. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding and am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me. And so it is.
Can anybody change the 20?
Yeah, we'll fix that. Okay, super. You're on.
Okay.